In kettlebell training, there's something known as the what the hell effect. It's widely seen in kettlebell circles, and I wanted to share my experience. So, I've been training with kettlebells consistently for about a year. Before that, I've been lifting in a lot of different types of ways for over a decade. And for me, the kettlebell phase of my fitness journey has by far been the best one. And kettlebells are really unique in a way, so kind of want to preface some of these benefits with why they might give different benefits than barbells, calisthenics, dumbbells. And this is not saying they're better than them. This is just what worked for me and kind of the amazing benefits I've noticed in my life. So kettlebells are interesting both in the literal kettlebell. It's kind of oddly shaped. It's offset in weight, which has been shown to kind of recruit muscles in a little bit more of a quote unquote real world way where a dumbbell or barbell is perfectly equal. The kettlebell is a little bit more offset, kind of what you find in real life. And a lot of times the movements are one sided at a time. So you'll do a squat with holding a kettlebell on one side, for example. Or you'll do, and then with exercise selection, you'll also do kind of more full body dynamic movements. You'll do cleans, presses, squats, and then sometimes all back to back. You'll also do things you don't see with other weight implements like kettlebell carries, where you literally walk with the weight. You'll obviously do kettlebell swings, things like that. So, by nature, just to preface, the kettlebell has the potential for these benefits that you might not see. And because of that, it's been dubbed by, the fitness community as the what the hell effect, which is essentially you're doing your normal kettlebell training and you notice things that you didn't really expect to see, or maybe you did expect to see, but you're just surprised when you actually see them come to life. So, you know, there's a lot of different beliefs of what this might be, but in this video, I wanted to frame it a bit more personal of just my experience because I can't guarantee that you'll have these, especially some of them that I'll get into, but I can say that they definitely benefited me. So yeah, would love to know what you think here. So the first benefit is that it actually fixed my low back pain and shoulder pain. So big disclaimer here, I'm not a doctor and I'm not saying that it would work for you. Definitely when it comes to anything pain related, please talk to a doctor or a licensed personal trainer. But I can say for me that it totally fixed my body. So with all my regular lifting, I noticed I had not necessarily super bad back pain where I couldn't walk, but definitely a lot of lower back tightness, which was somewhat debilitating, where it just was not the most comfortable to go for long walks or get off from my desk after a work day. I think all the kind of static movements just really tightened everything up, and it definitely manifested in my lower back, where sometimes after I would do laundry or clean the house, I just would feel really tight and kind of not feel the most comfortable to pick up a suitcase the next day, or I would just want to lay down a bit longer. So it did feel kind of debilitating. And then definitely in my shoulders, I had really creaky shoulders where they would always just feel really tight. Sometimes even just washing the dishes after, I just feel really tight shoulders. They would creak a lot. You could ask anyone in my family or friends, I was just always cracking my shoulders, and they were like, is everything okay? So and then during this time I was lifting weights a lot and going for long walks, and I'm supposed to feel healthy, but I just didn't. And again, that's my experience. I'm not trying to put down the benefits of other types of weight training. Again, this is just my experience. Whatever way you want to strength train is awesome. So yeah, anyways, but when I started doing kettlebells over time, my low back tightness completely went away. I actually literally can feel how secure my low back feels when I pick up a heavy suitcase, or I obviously pick up weights, or I'm just going about my day. And then my shoulders kind of set back in place. I think they were a little too forward. They set back in place. They're creaking way less. They feel way better. My posture is way better. And so, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a doctor, but I think I can attribute it to a couple things. One is that so much of kettlebell training just is full body and standing up, and it's also offset. So I think it literally works the lower back muscles, and I think that's really important because tight body, of the myths, I believe, is it's not just about stretching, it's also about strength. Stretching is super important, yoga is great, but you need a holistic approach to like muscle pain, and part of that is strength. And I think a lot of the movements that are often in the gym don't actually strengthen the lower back. And again, other things do, like I think, barbell deadlifts are good for also strengthening the lower back, but they can also be intense on the body. I found the kettlebell, I could strengthen the lower back, especially with kettlebell carries, especially with kettlebell clean and press, especially with kettlebell like offset squats, that I could just literally feel more muscle in my lower back, which is like, going back to this, to my way of seeing fitness of like, I like to see it in a very functional way, is like no one's ever gonna notice the muscle in my lower back, but it's like it's made so much more health improvements in my body, posture. And then same with my shoulders. I think it's also easy to kind of forget the full, like shoulders is a very complex muscle, has a lot of different parts. So it's really easy to forget, training the whole shoulder. So all of the exercises, it's not just training the front of the shoulder, like with the presses, the cleans, the carries, the squats, even just holding the kettlebell in place kind of just gets that shoulder comfortable with like holding weight. And so I just kind of noticed that my shoulders also felt a lot more stronger and balanced. And yeah, it just fixed a lot of pain. And, I can't guarantee that the pain won't come back or things like that. And so, but literally, like, oh, what the hell effect, like, wow, my body just feels so much better. So that's the first benefit I noticed. And again, please don't take it as medical advice. But yeah, that's the first benefit I noticed for myself. First, what the hell effect. So the second what the hell effect is really awesome functional strength. And I know the word functional is thrown around, and I think you can build day-to-day strength with calisthenics, with barbells, with dumbbells, machines. I mean, just know, like, again, I'm probably going to stop saying it so it doesn't get repetitive, but I'm not trying to put down any other movement. But I think for me, I really like seeing a very direct one-to-one transformation from my exercises to the day-to-day. So, for me, a barbell back squat is, I think it's a objectively great exercise, but I'm very rarely putting something on my back and squatting it, where a lot of times with the kettlebell squats, you have something in front of you and you're squatting it, which is like, when you have a big, groceries and you need to like specifically not just put it down, but like squat down to like put it away in like a low cabinet, you're not gonna, hinge at the hips to put it down. You're gonna like squat down. So I notice benefits there. Overhead press, putting things in high cabinets, putting suitcases in the overhead. Carries, like every time I'm carrying groceries or carrying something for someone, I noticed that for clean and press, playing with my nephew, like picking him up and putting him overhead. I see all these benefits and I can literally feel stronger day to day. And I think I can, and again, I was lifting for, 10 years before this. Sometimes I would notice that I would feel really strong in certain movements in the gym, maybe like, a row or a bench press or a bicep curl. And again, those exercises are great. I don't really bench press too much anymore, but I still like doing, curls, for example. So again, nothing wrong with those movements, but, I just found that like before some of my strength movements, I would feel good in the gym and then I would like kind of have a task in the real world. And I was like, I don't feel as strong as I think I should feel given all the lifting I'm doing. Whereas now I literally pick something up and I'm like, oh, this is exactly like a kettlebell carry, or this is exactly like a kettlebell press or squat or clean. And I like can feel stronger and I see it translate in the real world. And so that's really cool. Just seeing like myself feel more functional in day to day. And like, it's funny now, like sometimes when I'm on family vacations, there's like a heavy thing to move, like they'll ask me to help move that, and like kind of becoming the family the family person when it comes to like getting the groceries out or putting a suitcase in the trunk or helping someone move. Yeah, like people trust me with those tasks now, which is really cool. So yeah, the functional strength part is really awesome. Again, what the hell? Like I just am doing these movements. They're of similar weight to the movements I did with bench press or with dumbbells or barbells. Well, maybe not with barbells. Barbells or get a lot heavier, but they're similar weight to what I would use with dumbbells. But I feel so much stronger. And yeah, in places that you wouldn't think about, your lower back, my legs, my glutes, my shoulders, my obliques, even my feet. Sometimes with the carries, like I just feel a lot stronger overall for day to day. So yeah, that's another what the hell effect. The third what the hell effect is that I have a lot better cardiovascular fitness from lifting weights. So that's been really cool. So, that's the meme, right? Like gym bros or gym gals, like gym people, they never really like do cardio. Like that's the meme. Like people are like, oh, you don't need cardio. And then this is an extreme and exaggerated, but you have the person who's like in the gym 5 days a week, but then they get like winded from like a long walk or taking the groceries up the stairs or something. And truth be told, like I do really prefer strength training over cardio, but like I value getting my heart rate up and having like healthy cardiovascular fitness because I love walking. And when I go on like vacation, especially, like I love just being able to walk 20,000 steps and see the places I'm seeing and not feel, worried about getting winded or like or needing a break or needing like a midday nap or something like that. So I really value having good cardiovascular fitness, but if I can get it from my lifting, that's awesome. So what I've noticed with kettlebell training, just also the way some of the workouts are set up, one is like they're all dynamic. So it's like you're using your full body to do a kettlebell squat, to do a kettlebell press, to do a kettlebell clean. So by nature, you're just using your whole body. And I think just the more of the body you use, like the higher your heart rate gets up. Like I've done kettlebell squats where it's like, oh man, I'm breathing heavy. But then even more than that, there's kettlebell complexes or chains. Sometimes people use different words, but complexes, chains, where you do a kettlebell clean, then a press, then a squat back to back. And then you do that like 3 to 5 times. So you kind of do like, 15 movements in like a minute. And my heart rate is through the roof. Like it is higher than I've had on some like runs I've gone on. And yeah, my heart rate goes through the roof. It feels like a cardio workout, even though I definitely also feel like it's a lifting workout. And so that's really awesome. And then one of my favorite exercises is the kettlebell carry, where you're literally walking with a weight and you can go heavy on this. So sometimes I'll use 45 pounds, sometimes 55 pounds. And you're walking, you're trying to get as many steps in. And so like sometimes I've walked a whole mile with like a 35-pound kettlebell or a half mile with a 45-pound kettlebell, which is like 16 kg or 20 kg for my non-American viewers. And so, just like going that distance with a carry, doing the complexes, just doing my kettlebell training, my cardiovascular fitness is like a lot better than I expected. I just went to like a music festival a couple of weeks ago, and I think every day we walked about like 25,000 steps. For 3 days straight. So like 75,000 steps over like essentially 60 hours, if you think about it. And yeah, it was tough and it was fun, but I was fine. And so that was like a really cool feeling because I hadn't been doing traditional cardio. So another what the hell effect. And then the final what the hell effect is that it's just so much fun. And I know this sounds odd, like that's not really an effect, but I think it is. I think, after a decade of lifting, I kind of had like a bit of like a rough patch in my fitness journey where I just started to get really bored of lifting. I also got kind of disillusioned with the focus on like aesthetics and body transformation. And I kind of was just like, honestly was like, maybe lifting was just a 5-year, 6-year phase. And, the last couple of years of that were just getting really mundane. But there was something about the dynamic movements of the kettlebells, the complexes, the functionality, all of the things I mentioned. I just ended up starting to have a lot of fun with kettlebells where literally like I look forward to my workouts. Again, I've been lifting for 10 years and I look forward to each and every workout. And, not every time I'm jumping out of bed to work out, but generally like it has become the same way people get excited to go play a sports game or go get their nails done or go play video games. Like it has just become a genuine hobby for me where like I, work out during holidays and I work out on vacation. And it's not because I'm like, I need this discipline. I just like to keep up with my hobby. Like it's fun. It's like how people want to play board games or do puzzles on the, during the holidays, or watch a movie. Like I'm not even trying to be this intense uh, gym bro for everyone. I'm just like, I just genuinely have so much fun doing it. I love showing these exercises to people. I like, one of the best comments I get on my videos is like when people buy a kettlebell because they watch some of my videos. And I'm not really a kettlebell channel. I'm Gym Over 30, just like fitness journey for everyone over 30, fun, sustainable, shame-free. But I'm naturally also going to talk about my experiences. I always clarify that you should do what works for you, but I do, my workouts lean kettlebells, so I'm just going to naturally talk about that more. And yeah, I just have so much fun. It just feels like this really fun activity, this really fun sport that I just get to like get better at taking this kind of cannonball looking thing and getting better at picking it up, putting it overhead, walking with it. Yeah, just kind of playing with it. Like it does feel like play. So that's been really cool, and it just is a lot of fun. And yeah, definitely I can say for my experience, after a year of consistent kettlebell training, with a decade of lifting behind that to compare as a control, there is definitely real what the hell effects of kettlebells, and I absolutely love them. And so yeah, have you given kettlebells a chance? What have been your experiences? If you haven't, no pressure. If it sounds interesting to you, check it out. Also, if you don't use kettlebells and use other strength training implements, barbells, dumbbells, calisthenics, machines, what have been your what the hell effects of those? I would love to hear it. I mean, I know, for example, barbells, I'm sure you just get crazy absolute strength, for example, and calisthenics, you probably just have great body control and all these types of stuff. So this is not meant to be a kettlebell superiority video. So hopefully you watch till the end so you know what the intentions of this video are. But yeah, just want to hear your experiences with kettlebells, with other things, just anything what the hell effect related when it comes to strength training. And yeah, if you like this video, please consider subscribing. You can subscribe here, you can watch another video here, and thank you so much. I'll see you for the next one.